Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Seeking Heaven channel. And tonight we have our live chat with Seekers Speak. So tonight I'm so excited about our guest all the way from Mexico. And this person is just so fascinating and so interesting and is able to really give a perspective on what's going on these days from his Toltec tradition. So I want to tell you a little bit about our guest, and that would be Sergio Magana. He is a Toltec. He is a Toltec shaman, healer, practitioner, and he is also a Hay House author of many multiple books. Now, he can tell you, we're going to recap a little bit what we did the other day, but to really go into the real Toltec prophecies, that's on the interview before this, and you can get a lot more detail. So we're going to bring you, recap a little bit, but then we're going to move into some really cool concepts and solutions for today and this energy, and some things that Sergio is doing that could really help you out. So I want to tell you a little bit about, and he can tell you a little bit about himself too, but the Toltec lineage is from Mesoamerica. It's over 5,000 years old. And he also is a dream walker, a dream expert. He's written several books, and I want to read off a few. Caves of Power, The Ancient Energy Techniques for Healing, Rejuvenation Manifestation, The Toltec Secret Dreaming Practices of the Ancient Mexicans, Dawn of the Sixth Sun, and Sergio's latest book, which is The Real Toltec Prophecy. So I'm going to bring Sergio in live from Mexico. Hey, Sergio.
Hello, how are you? Thank you for having me again. One of the nicest interviews I have done this year. So thank you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, I feel the same way. I think you are doing so much good in this world, and you have such a kind heart, and I feel so honored. I'm so glad Spirit told me to bring you on. They know what they're doing, don't they?
I'm grateful with the Spirit for doing that.
Exactly. Well, we had so much fun last time, but wow, your latest book, The Real Toltec Prophecies, I wanted you to recap it, and I know that you go into a little bit. I mean, it's so, again, guys, you're going to have to see the other interview because it's way too detailed. But you basically go into how the Aztec calendar and the Toltec and how much the prophecies have already come true and kind of where we stand now. So I thought maybe you could bring it to where we are in the future, like from maybe right 2020 to kind of looking out from the future, and what are some solutions?
Yeah, of course. Like I was telling you in the other interview, I wrote a book in 2010 that it was named the Dawn of the Sixth Sun, in which I was saying that not the Mayan count was wrong, but that the date of the 21st of December of 2012, that everyone knew like the end of the world or the new era, it didn't have like the last updates because the Mayans flowered before the Toltecs, the Aztecs, and that the change was coming in 2021, and describing many things that happened, especially what happened in 2020, that it was like crossing through the underworld of the complete darkness, in which it was said that everything was going to stop, and the imbalance of the previous 6,600 years that have created between the masculine, the feminine, and some races was going to show first with the earth, like with lack of abundance, infections, and some people like aging and dying.
Aging and dying. This sounds horrible, by the way.
But it happened. Many things with the lockdowns and that, it was like many years for others, because it was said that the people that could follow their inner side were going to do really well. So it is like to see how was your previous year, if you did really well or if you suffered it a lot. How aligned are you with the change? I told you in the previous interview also that the Aztec count goes from the 12th of March to the previous to the next 12th of March. So we are starting like the new year, that in March, that it was a year nine house, that is the name of the how they were named, the years. But it was to be conscious that we live in many houses. The first, ourselves. So how are you doing by yourself? The second, your place and your family. So how is you're doing your family? You know, that then your country and then the earth, in order to see how are we aligned with all this system, in order to have like
Oops, I lost you. Oh, Sergio.
uh,
I'm hearing you, but I don't see you. There you
okay.
are.
Yeah,
You're
here we
good.
are. Sorry.
Okay. We'll try this for you too.
And also, this year has other important days. It will be a moon eclipse, the 26th of May, in which is officially starting what is like the sixth sun, the new period of 6,625 years. That for every culture is important because everyone spoke about this. The Western astrology with the Aquarius age, the for example, it's the same of the Egyptians, the precession of equinoxes, the Vedic count, in which we are also entering to a new cycle. And uh, from why it's important these days? Because for the fortune, for the ancient Mexicans represented the unconscious, what it was named Tezcatlipoca, that is the smoking mirror. That actually, if we look in a mirror, the ones that are
Smoking mirror.
yeah,
And what does
because
that mean?
because it's like looking at you but with smoke, so that you don't
Okay.
recognize you. But of course, when
Oh,
we are in front of a mirror, we are the ones that because it was said that it was the one that gave you fortune or misfortune, that take you to peace or to war, take you to health or to health issues. And actually, who is the one in front of a mirror when we are reflecting? It's us. So it is referring to the unconsciousness. And so from May, from actually the end of May, it's going to become more that the second feminine force that had been ignored, the power of our dreams that actually represent our unconscious, is going to show like the second part for the ones that didn't get the lesson with the earth of the balance masculine feminine, of the illusion actually, because of this new age, new stage in evolution. We have to be empaths and develop both of our masculine and feminine side, our
right.
masculine and feminine guides inside, because we have both in the dreams and everything. So it's going to become a little bit more dualistic. More people going to the fortune and more people going to the misfortune. And I don't want to create fear because, like I told you
No.
last time, I wouldn't say anything of this without solutions.
Of
So
course, you did tell me that you're a very positive person. So let me just that's a lot you just said. So just whoa, it's like, whoo, you're like that guy in the commercial who talks really fast. Anyway, okay. So coming up in May, you're saying this is going to last another 626 years, whatever the
yeah,
pivotal point. Okay, so we better really think about our decisions. And you're saying a lot of people are. So let's pick back up on it also from last time. You said we're going into a new era. So I'm not using my your Toltec words, but I'm using my general whatever that I identify with, like a new era. So because of that, you said some people will really like it. Like you said, 2022 was great for you. You
yeah, and
really.
even from 2021, but it depends. 2021 was described like we were going to face the entrance to the complete peace. So, how can you get in peace? So, it was said that if we solve the previous underworlds, the first one is to stop expecting everything from outside, even from the medicine, from God, from satisfaction, and begin creating the half of it from the inside. So that is a first step. The
Oh,
second is stop reducing repetitive destructive patterns.
ooh,
Then
okay.
the
Okay, I'm writing
third,
this down. Okay, hold on. Get rid of old ways
yeah, or at least
or
minimize
habits.
it. So it doesn't mean it doesn't need to be a prophet in order to see how it's going to behave the moon with you. That the moon is your dreams and your unconscious. It's only a symbol outside. So if you are expecting everything from the outside, from a god, from medicine, from the government to solve your problems, and that the first underworld is not working well, then the second, how are you with your repetitive destructive patterns? Just analyze the last year. Have you minimized them, or they are growing? And then you will know in a second, like kind of exam, how are you doing with the
Okay.
underworlds that are 8. Then the third is to really analyze your life, in which areas of your life you are addicted to suffering, that you constantly create pain, relationships, financially, health, and to see if they are increasing or they are minimizing. And then you have a third answer. Then, do you have fear of change? Do you want the previous order to be reestablished exactly like it was? Or you know that it's not happening? Or in which areas of your life you have been lazy? Are
Ooh.
you taking care of that? Or you had lack of discipline, even in your spiritual disciplines,
Ooh.
or whatever you wanted? And then you have like an answer for the fourth underworld. Then to look at your family, which are the patterns that repeat again and again. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, no, that's good. You're just going. You're just like I'm like trying to sink in what you're saying. Cause see, you know this stuff really well. I'm still like trying to embrace the Toltec ways. Okay,
Yeah, sorry.
because it's true. Because you're like everybody knows this. I'm like, no, this is like golden nuggets. Hold still. So okay, the first one is a creation within. Like instead of going, I'll
Yeah.
just wait for God to handle it because God's like free will, whatever you want, and then or government or for the family or for your job. It's really about you taking responsibility, right?
Yeah, half of it, because if you take that, for you are going to work really well the vaccines, and that we are seeing for some people they work, for the some people have secondary effects. It's not only about the vaccine, because if not, it will be everyone. For me, it's clear that it's half and half. What you have got inside is the result that you get. The
I
people
got
that
it.
get the side effects, and that it, to be really,
Mm.
really literal, is because they would really only wanted the outside to heal them. They are not, or a God to forgive, or someone to give the solutions.
I hear you. A lot of people are like that, and that's to me. I call it spiritual immaturity or irresponsibility, and so which I really get where the second one is to get rid of unwanted ways. Because when you're looking at yourself, which during this isolation time, we should be able to look at ourselves to say what works, what doesn't. Actually, not just within ourselves, but just in general with our life and our patterns. And
Yeah,
I already know a few glaring ones, and you have to really go deep to go why is that, and why am I trying to fill time in this way? And then you have to go just it's almost like a squirrel going and grabbing the nuts, and it's like it's just automatic. So I think in looking at our automatic patterns, and then you said to review your life to see if you're attracting suffering. And then
yeah,
I want
and in
you to
which
explain more of
areas?
that. I want you to explain more of that and give examples, maybe like how could
Yeah,
someone attract suffering?
the third underworld, because I tried to give it in very modern words and that, but it was described like for the ancient, like a mountain that is full of knives or flints. So every time that you were walking, you were hurting yourself,
Okay.
and that translated to modern words means addiction to suffering. That is a tendency to look, for example, every time that you get in relationships, you choose in a wrong one that is taking you to suffering,
Um,
or to create you
I
constantly
got it.
health issues, or bad jobs. And is in which areas are you addicted to suffering?
Oh
Actually, my
gosh.
teacher of
Wow.
the Toltec tradition, he said
Mhm.
that this comes when we were babies, because we get like the only way in which we got to be food, and that it was like creating like a drama. We had to cry, like
It's like a
rah rah,
drama.
and then it remains. because then we can create a cancer, or we can create bad relationships or divorces, and that to get the attention of the others, like we wanted attention when
Oh
we
my
were
God.
young.
Oh, it does seem like baby. It's that simple. Like, oh, well, they're not noticing me. So it's really kind of a lot of it being a victim, don't you think?
Yeah, and it's normal, because if you see the well-behaved baby, no one notices because it's like it's
It's
well
true.
behaved. It's like, okay, and then it's just sleeping on that. But the one that makes but if that remains like an
Um,
unconscious pattern, it will go from getting the attention to health issues and that. So to analyze that and to see if you are still doing that, that is like walking in a mountain full of knives, hurting yourself and hurting yourself and hurting yourself. So
got it. We
just
can we can see it in other people, but sometimes it's harder for people to see it in themselves.
yeah, and the first thing to heal something is to accept it. For example, when I was analyzing me, I said, okay, yeah, this is about taking
Hmm.
ownership of our complete destiny. And
It's
then the
good, Clay.
outside world is going to fit with that. And I'm putting a very clear example, because the same vaccine for some people has created terrible side effects, and for others
Yes.
not. So I take it like uh, the people that wanted to move from this thing from their inside, they are doing well with the vaccines. The ones that
Mm.
not, in their unconsciousness, boom, they are getting these side effects, and that keeps them trapped. It's a very clear example.
Oh my God, that because here's the thing, people would go, why? Well, we are spiritual beings. And if we decide, oh, I don't know, but if we go, I just want to get this thing done and move on. I'm not saying take the shot or don't take the shot. We're just
No,
using an
no, it's not.
example. There's an example. It's just attitude is what you're saying. And people are like, and they don't even think about it. They usually don't have any problems.
Yeah. So and in that
Mm.
it happens in everything. So if we analyze, we don't need to be a prophet. If we self-inquire ourselves about all these things that I am seeing, I am telling you, you will know how it's going to treat you 2021 to 2026. If it's going to take you to fortune or misfortune. If you have more, yes, I'm addicted to suffering. I didn't minimize the destructive, so it's a clear path that you are creating, and you have still the opportunity to change it. Or if you say, okay, for example, I self-inquire myself, I'm not waiting for things outside, so the first one is good. I had like very four terrible, not terrible, but destructive patterns when the pandemic start. Now I have two, so at least I'm
That's
going,
good.
I'm
So,
going more, I'm going well.
okay, so let's pick out some really not big ones, but like someone. I mean, certain things are simple. Like if you say, okay, I'm having too much sugar. Like I've noticed, I was having too
Yeah,
much sugar
me
during
too. That's
really, and
one
I
that
was like,
remains.
and it came up. My blood test and results from the doctor is always like I'm always like perfect, but hadn't been exercising like I should. I have been getting a lot of peace though. That's good. But I've been eating more sugar and it showed immediately. So what can I do? I know the cause. I can cut that out. And I have. So, but what about if people that they go, okay, I keep attracting, maybe it's not, boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever, but maybe it's just people. They attract the wrong people. Let's just say that. If they realize this, how can
But
they get
but but you,
past this?
but you attract it because you are addicted to suffering. If not, you would attract nice people. And sometimes the people that complain because
Hmm,
they attract negative people, the nice people, they think they are boring, or they take out them from their life,
I
or they
got it.
don't. So it's
Okay.
we always
That's
have.
big. They might think they're boring. So they
Yeah,
think they may need this drama because it gets boring.
because
That's
you are
funny, but I bet
addicted.
you that's true.
Yeah, and the nice people, the ones that would have treated well, or would have been very good shareholders or friends, and that those ones we don't want them. and we want the ones of the adrenaline,
The crazy people.
and the drama,
The drama.
and the drama. And
They're a
then
lot of
when you
fun.
get it, then you are complaining and you're saying, "Oh, poor of me." No, we always have decisions. We
Okay.
always have these options.
Okay. So how do you relieve yourself from the suffering when you go, "Oh, I really want to stop this"? Because you said you had 4, now you have 2, and
Because I am watching myself. I am questioning all these things. For
okay.
example, the next underworld
Okay.
is ancestral patterns.
Oh
To
gosh,
see, to
that's a
see,
tough one.
yeah, to see which are the main flaws of your family and which ones are you leaving. For example, I told you that my mother has developed a cancer, that now she's better because we have
Yep,
done
I'm
a
so
lot
happy.
of collective healing, and her treatment is working well on that. But I was really worried because I said, okay, the mother gives abundance, the mother represents that because it's the feminine part, represents health, and that and the pillar of my family was developing this in the pandemic years. So it
Oh,
was showing how the destiny of the entire bloodline was coming. So I was really worried to also make healings to my mother and to prevent and to erase the ancestral pattern. Like we have very concrete exercises of that. For example, then we can do one of healing the ancestors of a certain thing in order that it doesn't keep coming. It doesn't mean that your life was perfect, but I think that uh, and if I see, because I have done a lot of ancestral healing, how my siblings and me were at certain age, now that I see my nephews and nieces, they are a lot more healthier. They are more innocent. More
it's true. They are more innocent. They haven't picked up betrayal, bad things, whatever. They haven't picked it up yet.
No, and maybe they won't, because we're healing the ancestors. So try to see that part. Also, do you have more heavy emotions than before the pandemic, or not? Or you are more in peace? For example, I'm not showing off, but I used to travel all the world and that. Now I'm in more peace, in more stable here. I'm not saying I'm perfect and that, but I feel better than before. So I think I'm going to the 2021 to the Eclipse, and that I see. I don't need to be a prophet. That at least in the previous questions, I think that I'm going to fortune, not to misfortune. Probably with these same questions last year, it would have been that. Thank you, Susan.
That
That
was thanks, Susan. That's sweet.
that that I was going more to misfortune than to fortune, because it's going to become more dualistic. It's going to give you more what you
Oh, I got
dream,
it.
more your unconscious directly, boom, and manifest. It will take less time to manifest.
Oh, that's good. So that's a good thing for some people.
But for some not. If you have answered many things, yes, yes, more destructive patterns, more, in the previous time, you had more time to change or to keep that. So in this one, you will get the lessons more.
I got it.
So it
So,
goes in both ways.
so do you also think that came up the other day with another guest, and they said the more spiritually advanced you are, that things that you might want to call it karma, or things happen quicker, the results are quicker, but you're saying it's just the duality in which we live right now, that things are resulting quicker. Is that it?
Quicker, completely quicker. And of course, if you I always, for example, in the Toltec tradition, some of the main things that they teach you is like to save energy. So
Okay.
you feed yourself with the energy of the sun, of the moon, of many things, so that you get more energy. So I always take the people. This could be really beneficial for you, because you will have more power to heal, more power, but also more power to destroy, more power to create happiness, but also unhappiness. So you must take care and self-inquire and be aware of how you are thinking, how you are feeling, how you are dreaming, because it will take you less time to create it, because you have more energy than the people that haven't worked. So every power. comes with a huge responsibility.
That's
Every power. So how you are using it. So for example, in spirituality, it's always has been like the great dilemma, to use it correctly or to use it altering the free will of others, and that in a non-correct way. So you will get the results
right.
quicker.
Well, you gave an example last time. You were saying that it was on your, I don't know, somebody tore you up in social media for no reason about your book, and you're like, this is my heritage. I'm just explaining it from my point of view. And we were talking nowadays how on social media that, we probably noticed like the past few short years, and it's gotten worse. People are just rude and mean to one another. But that's what you're talking about. That person had to go way out of their way to say this horrible stuff. It's not even true, I'm sure. And they're creating a destructive pattern.
Yeah, and that's other underworld. Uh, it's described like arrows. So it is said in the tradition. Do you speak arrows or do you speak flowers? So it means,
Flowers.
yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful because it's a metaphor. Now, many times I inquire myself, am I going to say an arrow, or I'm going to throw an arrow, or I'm going to throw a flower? That means I'm going to use correctly my word, or I'm going to uh, um, or I'm going to use it in a beautiful way. I'm going to gossip just because of not because it's senseless, like we said about social media. To put a bad
It
comment in
is.
someone is why just go to
Why?
other place.
Yeah,
Why
just
to be
leave.
using putting arrows, because the arrows that you throw to others, they chase the others, but then they chase you. So it's
Mhm.
to see how you are using your word.
Well, so let me ask you, why do you think, and based on all the prophecies and what you know with your Toltec lineage, what is happening? We're all feeling it. Even people that you can say aren't spiritual. Well, of course they're spiritual because we're spirit, but we're all feeling something. And it seems like that like you said, duality, the evil people or the mean people, however you want to say it, or the people that want to complain or throw the arrows, that seems to be getting worse, where then you've got a whole crowd of people like, no, love and unity, love and unity. So it's so opposite. Why is it feels like it's working up to a crescendo. Why is this happening now? And how can we solve this, humanity, and what can we do, which I think you're talking about it right here.
For example, it's like I'm telling you, it's getting okay. Officially, what is happening in the tradition is that we're going from a sun. Sun means periods of 6,625 years. That we are going officially from a sun of the waking state or outside, when we wait for everything outside, government
Mhm.
satisfaction and that, to one of the night, that is the inside, the dreams and that.
Got
Everything
it.
is getting more dualistic, so that's why it's getting like people more evil in a certain way,
Yeah.
and people in other way, in a better spirituality, in a better, and not even people it doesn't need to be spiritual people, some people really nice people. So but it depends of you. If you keep addicted to suffering, if you keep and that, then you will keep attracting the evil people. So for example, in my childhood and when I was a teenager, I was really, I think, addicted to suffering, because I attracted everyone that bullied me or rejected me or mistreat me. And now I barely see it in my life, because I think I have changed. Even in the social
Okay.
media, and that I have had like 4 or 5 trolls,
That's not
and
bad.
no, it's not
No,
bad
not
at
to be an
all.
international Hay House author and touring the world. I mean, that's not bad for trolls.
No, not at all.
But
So
but you probably put something out there, like a postulate, like I do, is that I love people and they love me back, and everybody's like my family, and I love them so much. So what are you going to get? You're not going to get a lot of problems if you say things like this.
yeah, and also you self-inquire. I am looking at myself, how my life goes.
Mm.
So because but in all the aspects, how it goes with my family, how it goes with my students, how it goes with the world, how it goes. So in
Okay.
order to see my patterns, and then you don't need to be a prophet. You just need you just see what you are creating. Are you putting all the responsibility outside or not? I'm doing a lot of family healing. I try to help the world through exercises, through like for example, we will do an exercise today, a practice. So all these things. So it's logic that I will receive some of that, but to
Of
take care
course.
also, because a lot of spiritual people is doing a lot of good work in the country, in the world, but not in their own self and not
I hear
in
you,
their
brother.
family.
It's true.
And
It's
so
true.
these two houses are terrible.
You
So
got to
you
line
feel,
up. You got to line up. They have to be
yeah,
the same.
in the fourth one, and to be yourself and to be treating you well, because it's the first one. To take care of you, to minimize your destructive patterns, not to try
Self
not
love.
to. No, so it is about you, then it's the people that is close to you. That, for example, now that I have published talking about social media, about my family doing healing to my mother together,
Yeah, I want to
many
hear more
people,
about that.
many people tell me, I would love my family to be like that. I said I would have
Yes.
said the same thing 20 years ago, uh, 3 years ago. I would have loved my
Mm.
family to be like that. It wasn't like that. I made it like that. I
But
began teaching, and let's make a ritual and the harmony, and saying, respecting that you are the Christian, I am the weird, and the other is the whatever, the Buddhist. All of us, it's just the love to our mother, and it's just to give a step, and and
okay.
and many times it happens. So, and I didn't have an easy family. I had a terrible one in the beginning. Now it's a very easy one.
Well, so that's what intrigued me is when you were talking about that on the last interview, which you guys can watch, but about how your mom was ill and how you came in to heal her, and then your sister-in-law said, "Hey, why don't we all get a family healing?" Because they saw the
Yeah,
improvements. And but it took something what you're saying before that you put it out there like, look, we gotta. I just want this to be right. I'm willing to just. I think it comes to a place of surrender, don't you? It's like a tree, and you're all branches on a tree, right? You're
yeah,
all
and
different.
because they also saw that there were changes in me.
Hmm.
So
So what happened in here? What
and
happened?
they were, yeah, and actually the one that suggested like the ritual wasn't to me, was my sister-in-law. And then we had other meeting in which everyone said, okay, let's do the ritual by themselves to heal the mother. But it's just like to peace, and like saying, I always say, no, it's not, we're not pretending, we're just doing a ritual with light of the Pleiades through the organs to try to heal certain things, but it's not to interfere with anyone's beliefs. I can keep being the weird, energetic one. You can keep being the Christian, the
Right,
Buddhist,
and
and
see, I
that,
identify with that because there people go, "Oh, I'm the rebel in the family, or I'm different, or we're so and so, we don't get along." But if you look at it like you all stem, there's a root, which is your parents, and you're all branches off the tree. I'm the odd one, but I tell you what, if they want to know anything spiritual, or they are like, they call me. You know what I mean? But they kind of I'm like, oh, you're the weird one. Until we really want to know something, then we call you. So it doesn't really matter. But I think you're right. There's so many families that are broken, and I know a lot of people are hurting over that. They want it to be more pleasant and more harmonic.
yeah, and there is no case. It's just to make understand everyone that everyone can have their beliefs, but it's just to be aligned in the love, in wishing the
I
well
love it.
for all the family. I don't care if they are Christians and I'm the Toltec or the weird or the shaman, and that we don't try. At least I. That's one thing that I always propose myself: never to try to preach. For example, if it's Christmas for my family, it's Christmas, and I go to celebrate Jesus Christ, even though that probably
Mhm.
I celebrated before in the solstice with Silopochtli, the hummingbird flying, and that's what I believe in. But uh, that I believe or I prefer certain certain energies doesn't make bless the other ones.
Yeah, you honor them.
Yeah, and I respect them.
So,
So
so
it's
it's
to
an
look
order
at.
to things. It's what you're saying. There's an order to things. Love self, love family. You start with that, and then you branch out.
Yeah, and if you started in, because I started, I think in the other way. I started loving people and healing people, the ones that weren't close. And there's a myth between the healers and that when you try to do your family, it doesn't work. I tried to do very a lot to my mother and with success to break that mind barrier in myself that with family
Wow.
doesn't work really well, uh, and also that it doesn't work as good in you than in the others. And for example, in the beginning, I had better results with strangers than with me. Now I have or as good results with me that with strangers, or better even with me. That because I work myself, I
Mhm.
I like myself, and I like now my family, and I like people, and it's trying to be aligned in these things. So it doesn't need to be a prophet. In 2021, I know that I'm going to a better place. I'm not
Got it.
fearful that I'm going in Mexico. I don't have the age to get the vaccine and nothing like that. I'm not fearful that I'm going to get the virus and nothing,
Yeah.
because I am looking to my underworlds, and I said no, I don't deserve it.
Right.
I am.
Yeah. You know
I
what?
need.
It's really weird, and I know a lot of people don't understand like the physical body and the spiritual thing, but for some bizarre reason, I have absolutely no fear.
I don't
I
have
just
at
don't.
all.
I don't have any fear. And even if I had it, I wouldn't have fear. And I don't know. And people go, no, I really don't. And I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I guess because I just feel like great things are going to happen. I feel like I'm kind of excited about the future. I feel like this is a wonderful break from the chaos, and it's a nice break to sort yourself out.
Yeah, and we see it in nature. Nature rested of us. Animals were coming back to many places that they weren't. The sea was clearer. So we should rest also of our own selves, of our like personality, and
Exactly.
all the suffering, and and to get it clear, to really prepare yourself, and
Okay.
and for me it's so important to answer to those questions to myself very very constantly to see how I
Mhm.
go. So then you don't need prophecies, you don't need anything. You know
Right.
that you
Common
where
sense.
what is your path. If the 2021 is not like to throw a coin and to see if it's one side or the other, to see, oh, the moon is taking me to fortune or misfortune, is you are taking. Just answer those
Right.
questions. Are you waiting
Right.
everything from outside? Are you getting more destructive or beneficial patterns? Are you addicted to suffering? And we are all addicted to suffering in certain areas, but at least
Mm.
try to fix the other ones. If your if your worst addiction is relationships, try to think, okay, normally when I feel attracted to someone, he's going to betray me or something like that.
Stab you in
I
the
don't try, yeah, why I don't
back.
try other type of people. Probably I will
Oh,
get
yeah.
I will get other
The
result.
opposite. That's funny. Well, you're saying, and and that also is good news because you're like, I'll try something different. And so it's an opportunity to kind of go outside of your normal ways to experiment, to try something that might work if something isn't working. So to me, I feel like that it's such a relief. I feel kind of grateful. The only thing, the problem that I think that I have is being in this world is it's very obvious. I try not to watch any news, but it's very obvious. Like you'll see it here and there, but attacks or darkness or viciousness. And I can even feel it energetically. And that does make me sad. So I have to make a conscious effort to go, okay, I'm not going to focus on that because that's their choice to be that way. And I have to really make a deliberate effort to just like be in my own world. So maybe there's a lot of light workers too that are really affected by the other, people that that aren't moving forward, that really just want to complain and be nasty, and they're picking up this energy. How do you protect yourself from this other energy so you can just to block it out?
Yeah. I don't really I don't really believe like in something to protect you. I believe in create. So you will get in your life, of course. I know I'm saying it's going to get more dualistic. And actually, I don't like news also, but when I look at them, for me, it's a clear sample. For example, what I was saying about the vaccines. Some people with side effects, other people doing it wonderful. I said, it depends on them. It doesn't depend of the vaccine, because some people want to say, okay, this type, no, or that one. So some people that is full of trolls in their social media, or people, nasty people. It depends of you, which if you are addicted to suffering in your personal relationships, then you will be addicted to suffering, and you will find these people that have a lot of time to insult you in the web.
Right.
It is just a mirror. So I'm not trying to it's just, for example, for me, a proof. I am not happy that, but I see, okay, some people is suffering horrible things.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But they are creating it, and it's up to them.
Okay, I got it. That does help, because I guess that's the point. Is that I'm not talking about blocking from negative energies. I'm talking about picking up, like, ooh, that feels uncomfortable, or that stuff over there. But you're right. It's their choice. If they want to go and act whatever, it's their I never thought about. You know what? That kind of releases you, like, not yours, not yours.
No, and I am not coming from a superiority part. No.
Oh yeah, I don't think so.
I think I was the child addicted to suffering completely. I probably begging for love and that, because I wasn't really accepted, and I had a terrible childhood and I could have become the worst option of me, or one of, I don't say that I'm the best, but I'm trying to be the best of me, and I chose this path. So like that, it is for everyone in every situation. And I was really even fearful to speak because I was bullied and everything. So I'm not saying that I come from the easy path.
I got it.
But from that path, I could have chosen to become a drug dealer and narco cartel, or the shy one.
You could have,
or everything, many things. But I chose, and I tried to improve them, and I never surrender to be the worst option of me. And it's an option.
I got it. That makes a lot of sense. So when we feel this, or if we turn on the TV, or someone said, somehow, not in my world, but you see, oh wow, why would they behave that way? It doesn't matter. It's their choice, whatever it is.
Choice. If not, they wouldn't have been there in that moment.
You're right, and we make choices too, and that's all it is.
It is every time. For example, if you want to lose weight, let's put it simple. Every time that you are going to eat, there is a possibility. Should I choose the chocolate cake, or should I choose the salad? And if your inner enemy is stronger than your inner friend, then you will choose the chocolate cake and all these things, in order to keep destroying yourself again and again and again and again and again.
Right.
So there are decisions.
Right. Okay.
Every time.
So you're saying you cut out the chocolate cake?
I reduce it.
Yeah, I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm not saying I would never have sugar, but I have really cut it down, and now I'm more. What do you call it? I'm I'm more, I know what I'm doing. I'm watching everything because I want to be my better self.
And of course, it's not being extreme. It's just knowing that we have choices every day, and
Right.
you can make decisions every day to improve yourself, to try to feel better, to to treat you better,
Right.
to doesn't allow someone else to mistreat you, to start defending you,
Right.
to start taking care.
Right. And every second of every day is an opportunity to make a new choice. So, so this makes so much sense. I love this whole taking responsibility, and now's the time to do it, and to expect the duality. There are people that are free will. They're going to, they may even act crazy. It really has nothing to do with us. So
No, and
people, hey, Belinda.
it's not like to throw a coin and say, probably this or not. Just look at how what are you doing every day, and then you will know. Because actually, the prophecies, the collective prophecies, are that before between 2021 to 2026, there is going to be that the people that didn't adapt themselves to a new order, to take care of themselves and everything, uh, will have to leave, probably dying and coming back in the lineages they stayed. And
And
if
that's
that
what you
depends of
said.
you.
Why
Yeah,
is it that people, is it because that it's destined that there's going to be more love and unity, and so the naysayers, the people that want to just be a problem or complain, that energetically that their body, they're just going to, you said they're just going to die off. How's that going to happen? I mean, is it just, I
we
mean,
don't know. We don't
oh,
know.
we don't know. Okay.
It is not. It is going to be, because like it's going to be more dualistic. The people doing it wonderful and doing terrible. The people that is doing terrible is going to intensify until the body dies, because you don't want to be here unconsciously. Why wouldn't
Yeah.
you like to be here?
Got
Because
it.
you're suffering. It's like, why would I like to stay being unhappy, complaining about everything, having a body that is not working and everything? So, or I try something new to heal it, to be better here, or what's the purpose
Got
to
it.
keep alive?
I got it. They're going to be miserable, so they're just going to, they're going to tell the body, the universe, and so that's what's going to happen. So it's kind of
Yeah,
good. So basically, it's going to become more positive. It's going to be a little difficult at times, but it's going to end up being more positive.
yeah.
Yeah.
It can get, like I was saying. I think that my life is going a lot better than 2 years ago. So is it's an option. It's an
Yes.
option, and the
Yes.
turmoil is everywhere. But I am deciding to go through the soft way. And the
Mhm.
soft way is a very disciplined way of looking at me, of working at me, of doing my disciplines, of really trusting when things look like miserable, to say, instead of, oh my God, it's like, what can I do? Can I do a ritual? Can I do an offering? Can I pray? Can I do something, or do my kin that is like yoga? Or can I do, what can I do? Is
Got it.
like, instead of waiting everything outside, is what can I do to make it better?
I got it. So
And
that's it.
there's always
Right.
something.
So I wanted to ask you about these spiritual exercises because I know you have quite a few in the book, the real Toltec prophecies, and I also want to let people know you have this exciting new boot camp that you're going to unleash for people so they can learn how to have these daily spiritual practices so they can stay on point, be happy, get rid of old ways, and all of that. So I know you had mentioned about these that we were going to do one of those, but tell us a little bit. I know that the Toltec prophecies is also tied into the relationship with the Pleiades. I don't know if you want to explain that because I have had energy healing. There's someone that was a Pleiades DNA, and it's the best thing I've ever had. I got to tell you, it was really good stuff. Just saying it, I was amazed how deep and amazing that was. It was energetically like nothing I've ever had, and that was recent. That was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Actually, many people, because I teach many things, different things, ask me how to integrate everything in my life. So I because of that, I taped myself doing my routine. That is my Toltec kind of yoga that is named Kin in the morning. Then what I call lucid siesta. That really, because I'm a specialist in dreaming, because dreaming was the specialist, the one of the main specialities of the Toltec tradition.
Yeah.
Actually, was called Dualism, the science of who I am, and it is how to slow your heart in order to go through the 4 steps that every night we cross to fall asleep. That is to begin feeling heavy, then stiff because we are entering in dream paralysis, then colder. That's why we need to call to cover us in the night, and then to when the dream paralysis becomes stronger, then you enter in this very classic sound of previous of snoring for the people that snores, that when we are sleeping.
Yeah.
So to get with this is named conscious sleeping, to get into that state and to do certain exercises in what I call the lucid siesta, or before
Okay.
falling asleep in the hypnagogic, or in certain nights cutting the night, in order to create your life from the inside, from your unconscious. So I
Okay.
take myself 7 days, that I did it in English and in Spanish. So it was like a boot camp for me because I was forcing to do everything every day.
That's funny. Because you've been busy recording these so you could launch it, which I think it's so great that you're offering this to people, because there are now a lot of people that are just regular people that are not spiritual like most people watching. They are starting to wake up, like the person you thought they would never wake up. I have someone in mind right now, a friend, and they're like, what's going on? And they're every day asking me, and if you're watching, I love you. They're saying, what is a Kundalini awakening? What is this? And to me, I'm like, oh, isn't that sweet? I mean, because everybody's waking up. Everybody's like, what's going on? What's going on with me? So
everyone must be aware that something is happening. Whatever, but it's happening.
Something is going on.
And like I said, if the older things are not working, try something new.
I am completely open. And one of the things that on the and I was going to talk about the Pleiadian, the exercises over the one that I had 2 weeks ago, was getting rid of part of it was getting rid of old belief systems, and just mentioning that was a relief, because I started I didn't really consciously literally go, well, I was conscious, but literally go boom, boom, boom. But yet it was coming off anyway. I knew it. I just, because I accepted, I said, yes, okay. And I just felt a relief, because it's kind of a relief. It's a freedom.
Yeah. And it's not trying to be something. It's like I said, probably you don't have to put your spiritual beliefs. Just try different things.
Right.
You don't have to name yourself Toltec, Buddhist, nothing. It's just, okay, if it didn't work to make a lot of effort in my waking state, why don't I work in my dreams?
No, well, exactly. And the thing is, the way I look at it, I just tell people, what are you? I said, I'm just Team God. I don't know. I mean, do I have to, the worst thing we can do is label ourselves.
Yeah.
It is.
And to think we're right, because I'm doing a new book with a very famous girl that is my friend, the actress Michelle Rodriguez from Plaza de Furious.
Oh yeah, she's so cute. Yeah, what a great actress.
Yeah. And we're doing a book about comparing all, because she has been studying all the spiritualities of the ancient times and how
I'm impressed.
Yeah, no one would have thought it because of the action movies.
I didn't say that.
But she's really a spiritual girl, and to see that everyone was saying the same thing. For example, the things about Perseus or Osiris, and here the moon of the dismemberment in the underworld is like to leave the pieces behind, and in many mythologies, creation, and no one was right, no one was wrong. It's just to be the eye of Horus is the same of the third eye, of the eye of Ramos, of the Scatlipoca, the eye of the Masons, and that is the same eye.
Right. It's the same eye. Look, guys, it's the same eyeball. Don't get hung up on the eyeball.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. It's different religions say it different ways or different philosophies, but they're trying to explain it their way, creation. But truth is truth. So it's not like any's right or any's wrong. I mean, right?
And
Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
There's a lot more out there in the world that I'm finding. The more I know, the more I realize, the more I don't know. And a lot of people
yeah,
look, at least I admit that. I mean, the more I know, go, whoa, this is a big world.
yeah, and the more you study, the more you see that is the same. Is the same with other worlds. Why to fight for that, or why to put you in a model? So I always say, take everything that heals is
Hmm.
good
Hmm.
for
Yes.
everything that you took it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where does it come.
Well, it's a love flow. Whatever, you're right. So energetically, you think, well, what is it? If people want to have discernment of what's right around, if it's a love flow and it's helpful, to me, I've had a ton of UFO people, a ton of alien people are starting to come on the show, and I am learning so much. I'm going, I'm probably alien. So, once you hit that point, and apparently I've been talking to them. So once you hit that point, I'm like, well, I guess everything's game. So, because there's so much we don't know. It's and we should take pleasure in that to go, wow, this is kind of fascinating. Not to be
Yeah,
fearful.
and to explore
Yeah, it's
and
a
to explore.
journey.
Yeah, I said, I would be so tired of myself to believe in the same things that I believed 20 years ago. I said, that did that mean that I didn't move even a bit?
Yes,
So, and
you're
most
right.
of the people, a lot of the people, they get a religion or they get a system of beliefs when they are a child, and they used to die in the same way. God, how boring! An entire
It is
life
boring.
believing the same thing.
It's
And
true.
it is why you didn't explore anything without rejecting what you used to believe. Why not to
Yeah.
integrate it? Why not to make a mixture, a beautiful mixture of beautiful things in yourself, and
Yes.
not to see the other like the other, like foreigner, like strange, like a danger.
Well, I think that's where people are. I think that if you, like the person that was bashing your heritage, you're like, oh, that's my heritage. So why are we so fearful to explore and to learn? And sometimes you learn and you don't even have to make an opinion about it. You just learn and go, okay. And maybe it falls in place at some point. But I think that uh, having that childlike wonder is really what's needed. Like you said, as a child, and we get so serious about things. We've taken ourselves way too seriously. So, do we have time? I want like facets of a diamond. Yes, our life is very much so like facets of a diamond, Belinda. I don't know if we have time to do a small exercise to help people during this growth, and I want them to see how
Yeah.
they can connect to you for this boot camp. And then, when do you think the book will be released with Michelle Rodriguez?
We're still writing. I think it will be
Okay,
next year,
okay,
but
great.
we are quite advanced.
Oh, that's good.
Now that she's doing a
Wow.
new film, she has been writing more because with the hours in the set. So it's good.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
wonderful. That sounds like a lot of fun. And so maybe and definitely some of the people are very visual, and I completely see you doing whatever your practices are, doing it not I mean you're doing it now also on the I guess the YouTube or whatever to show people or to show the video of that. But uh some people they don't read, they do the audio or they watch things. So it's really nice that you're branching out in many ways to communicate what you've learned.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, and some people like, for example, even the real Toltec prophecies, the audiobook was read by Michelle. Actually, she's the voice. So that if you want
That's
to hear the
wonderful.
prophecies in her
Oh.
voice, so
Okay, I'm gonna get the audio version too. That is really neat. So, well, do we have time? Tell us about your
yeah,
boot
let's
camp,
do a
and then
small exercise
okay,
that
I'm gonna get all ready.
Actually, the long count, and that is based in the spinning of the sun around the Pleiades. So we can do one of the Pleiades
Okay.
that there are seven, and if you know, well,
Mhm.
and but the ancient Mexicans they named them by number. The first Pleiade, the second, like to the seventh, but the third one that we are going to call the energy that we will just give four breaths, like offering, like correct dreaming, correct thinking, correct feeling, and correct acting. And then we will call the energy to our right hand of the third Pleiade, and then we will
Mhm.
put it in the C7, that
Okay.
is this bone in the base, and then
Okay.
blue energy that is of the third Pleiade, that is the one that awakes the blood, so
Okay.
that your blood becomes the medicine will go through us, and we will take it to is to heal
Ooh.
yourself and your family to certain areas, to the liver to heal anger, to the lungs to heal sadness, and like that. And it will be a very very nice. And if you have any problem with someone of your family, we will take it. For example, if I want to attack the tumor of my mother that is in the stomach area, I can have it, take it there to reestablish the cosmic intelligence, the cosmic order in our body. So okay, let's
Wow.
go.
Mhm.
Okay, close our eyes, and just with your breath give the correct way of dreaming to the third Pleiade, correct thoughts, correct actions and feelings. And to the third Pleiade, just let's call her to come the energy of the third Pleiade to your right hand. It will go from the Pleiade to the sun, from the sun to a mountain close to you, and from the mountain to your left, to your right hand. And when you feel a tickling the energy, take it to your C7 and begin seeing how the blue energy goes through your veins, through your arteries, awakening the intelligence of the cosmos, the cosmic order inside yourself, the memories, and take this blue energy to the liver and destroy any anger. And the intelligence of the universe to be happy is reestablished. Now take it to the stomach to destroy any trauma, any regret, and the intelligence of the universe is reestablished in your stomach. To the kidneys to destroy any fear, any guilt, and the intelligence of seeing that everything exists for something is reestablished. In your lungs to destroy the blue energy, just see it there, destroying any sadness and reestablishing the intelligence of the universe, of just existing with happiness, with grace. And now go to the heart and destroy the way in which your ancestors aged, died, and the things that they lived, establishing the intelligence of the cosmos in all your cells. And if in your family anyone has an issue, take that blue light to the area and just through the blood, the union that we have in the blood, direct the energy to your mother or to your daughter or whoever, and reestablish the intelligence in their blood in order to heal. And with the cosmic order being reestablished, ask the blood to become your own medicine. And we could keep longer, that normally is what we do, but like we have to finish. Now take away the hand of the C7 and join it with the other. And our amen in the Toltec tradition is ometeotl, that means two energies joining, or amen, or so be it. And allow that we irradiate that energy to our family, to the people of our country, and to the world, establishing the cosmic order through the blood. Perfect. And with that energy, when I count 4, you may come back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect.
Oh, that was so beautiful. It was sweet. It was such
Yeah,
a love flow.
yeah, and it's really like to awake, like the wisdom of the cosmos that is cyclical, but at the same time new. It's something nice, and it really gives
It's
great
nice.
results.
It's that was beautiful because I mean you're really honoring you, your family, and you're taking that on as a responsibility and honoring the world in which we live. I thought that was just beautiful, and it was simple, but I love it. That to me is a great example of spiritual maturity.
Thank you.
Well, look, tell us how that we can be a part of your boot camp. You've got this online. Tell us where can they go?
To sergiomagana.com. Then
All
you will
right.
find my online trainings and the ones that are live, and the spiritual boot camp, the 7 days of retreat with me, taping all my routine, spiritual routine, in order to follow it. And thank you so much.
Oh, are you? I am so honored to have you. You're such a beautiful person and I just love what you're doing. I love your perspective and I think that just by being you and sharing who you are and your heritage allows people to kind of get out of their old ways and just look at the beauty and how we're all united as one. So I just you're going to be just doing so much more. I'm just so happy for you.
Thank you, thank you. You're so kind, and you're also a
Oh,
beautiful person. And thank you for
oh,
these interviews.
oh. Thank you so much, Sergio. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I certainly did. And check out Sergio Magana's website where you can be a part of a spiritual boot camp. We all need to learn how to just balance and be the better part of ourselves. So thank you so much. Take
Thank you.
care.
Goodbye.